Welcome back to Dallas Twang. I'm Dave. Play a little bit of blues with y'all here today. In A, just a 12-bar pattern, got it on my looper here. And let's let that intro demonstration outline the topic for us today. It's pretty straightforward. I went around 2 times around the 12-bar pattern. The first time, I only used notes that were in the A minor pentatonic scale, okay? And I would call that the blues scale as well, although officially the blues scale has that extra. Right? So if I use those 2 terms interchangeably, that's means the same thing for me. The second time around, I went out of my way to make sure there was a major third of each one of those chords in there, okay? Each one of the chords is a dominant 7th chord. So A7, and I made sure I played a, okay? D7 or D9 is what you actually heard on the loop. Right? That's the third for the D7. And so, just the major triad has the... There it is with the flat 7 added. There you go. So there you've got your dominant 7th arpeggio, all right? So if you want to think of it as in that kind of context, that's even better. Then for the E, of course, we've got the same kind of shaping. Okay. Now, if any of that looks completely new to you, don't worry. It's those arpeggios are triads, root, 3rd, and 5th, with a flat 7 added to them. Okay. So that this lesson isn't specifically about that, but if you want to kind of really get going with the second bucket, the first one being the minor, the blues scale notes, and the other bucket being the kind of chord tracing method, then that's the way to do it. It's just put together a simple routine for practicing those arpeggios. Okay, I was trying to stick just with the arpeggios and not start kind of riffing, but see what happens? That arpeggio practice turns into, making melodies and playing licks, right? So, and that's a natural way to kind of go about this, right? So these aren't licks that I'm showing you today. They're source material for, your own sound. And maybe when you watch other videos and things, you'll better recognize, oh, I see. That was like the blues scale. But then that other lick, when that turnaround, they were playing like the chord tone. That was like the 3rd business that was in there, right? So here's one thing you can do right away. Some of you, you're watching this, you're like, okay, you've been doing this for years or whatever, and great. So you just have to find out like where you need the most work and kind of focus on that in your practicing and expand on that, right? But for some folks out there, this is a game changer today. Just hunt down those thirds. I forgot that I went up in measure 2, I go up to the D9. Sometimes in the blues you stay on the 1 chord for like the whole first 4 measures, but So now E. So now let me go around and just kind of hang around those thirds. Okay. Now, see, that might, for some of you, it's like, oh, wait a second, that might be the thing I'm looking for. Because when I play that, I'm getting around pretty good with that blues scale, that minor pentatonic, but it doesn't have that bite that I keep hearing in these different, styles of blues playing. Well, this could be one of the things that's gonna, help you get deeper into your own sound. Now, that being said, personally, I think using minor pentatonic, I don't think the second bucket, the chord tone business is like more sophisticated or more advanced. In fact, I think using the blues scale and making it sound cool is the most sophisticated thing. And it's actually the most challenging because you don't have as many notes and you can't just go right into the chord. You have to use that tension that's around the notes, right? You have to be a little more, in my view, more creative to do that. So I like to just kind of sometimes keep myself in that minor pentatonic. There's little micro bends in there, but now I did it again. I didn't switch to the four chord in that measure too, did I? So here we go. Okay. So see, I'm not holding myself back. I am in a sense because I'm deliberately demonstrating these things, right? And I'm trying to keep it a kind of an even place. So I'm not flying around to like all these different positions and embellishments and things right now. And it's not as important to copy what I just played because honestly, it's not my best, you know, you know, time around on a blues progression. But it's to, uh, uh, so that you can recognize which things are happening, right? You can say, oh, okay, yes, just went right down the blues scale. And then to that four chord. Slow it down, work off to the side. Don't just try to keep up with the looper. Hopefully you have a looper. That's really important to this kind of learning method. But do what makes sense. Go off to the side, slow this stuff down. And the key to it all, I'm just telling you, whether you're going to do it or not, you're either going to do it or you're not. The key to it is the arpeggios, to the second bucket. you can just tell that it's all coming from that. Okay. And then the fun part is when you know, get some of that under your fingers, get some muscle memory going for that, and your ear starts to go after those chord tones. Then you go back to your kind of more laid back pentatonic playing, and it just shows up here and there, right? It's just kind of like punches in, like at times when you really want to hear it. And you'll know when it happens. It's a really cool feeling, and you'll it's inspiring. It just makes you want to keep going around and around, and trying out new stuff with it. So, not a ton of demonstration in this one today, but hopefully that gets you on track to sort out, take inventory of where you need to do the work, and get your buckets sorted, and then always wrap up with just throw that looper on and just let yourself go. Just let it happen. I'll bet some cool stuff happens too. Let me know if it does. All right. Talk to you next time.